Very good evening students. Elrigu namaskara. My name is Jayant from St. Claret College, Assistant Professor, Bengaluru. So ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು practicals on skill development ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂಡನು we need some brief explanation and as well as ಒಂದಷ್ಟು important questions ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ. So that is why we have made this video for you in brief to explain what are all the questions would be coming to your examination and how easily you can score marks within very few minutes. Okay, within a very few minutes of study, how good you can do it annodna we have done it in a very simple way. Okay, so first tilkoli, when you are going to write this examination, that is practicals on skill development, all BCU students, so you will be getting only questions with auditing and as well as income tax. Okay, so you will be having 6 plus 6 questions, that is totally 12 questions, where you have to concentrate on both auditing and as well as income tax. Auditing ಮತ್ತೆ income tax ಇಂದನೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಸೊ ಈಗ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನೀವು ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಬರ್ದಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸೊ ನಿಮಗಿದು ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಪೇಪರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಸೊ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಯು ಮೇಕ್ ಶೋರ್ ವೆನ್ ಎವರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್, ಸೊ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಇದ್ದು ಇಫ್ ಯು ಗೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್, ಸೊ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ಬೋದು ಸರ್? So you just see the auditing part. Auditing part you don't have anything related to quantitative part. Ellanu qualitative alle irutte, something related to the theory, and so that you can do it. And when coming to the income tax part, income tax alle enen irutte sir? So it is where you have to use imaginary figures. Yen sir imaginary figures andre? So any a time you're using anything called as numbers. Whatever number you are interested with, like some unknown numbers, some 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. So any numbers where we are not asking for something called perfection. So ee ತರ numbers ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, here we have used something called as imaginary. Okay, ಸೊ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಇರೋ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವಿಷಯ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸರ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್? ಓಕೆ, ಯಾವ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಾವು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ರು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, so kindly go ahead with present the framework of taxation in India. Matte also kindly go ahead with the second one, that is the various income tax authorities and their powers and functions, and also go ahead with this salary part and as well as for house property. Okay, so these are somewhere very important where you have to look after. And coming to the auditing part, okay, so in a very brief way, so you kindly go ahead with something related to the design and development of auditor plan, and kindly go ahead with the audit report and as well as the verification procedure, and visit an audit firm and write about the procedure followed in the auditing books or accounts of the firm. So fourth ಮತ್ತು sixth one ಅಲ್ಲಿ, so you have to be okay. So very importantly, you can go ahead with 1, 3, 4 and 5. So in income tax you can go ahead with the first, second and as well as fifth and sixth. Okay, so these are some of the important things. Sir ನನಗೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಬ್ರೀಫ್ ಆಗಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೇಳಿ ಅನ್ನೋದಾದ್ರೆ, look, the very first question in auditing says design and develop an audit plan program for a joint stock company. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್? So they have told how it has to be designed and as well as to be developed. So you have to examine the validity of appointment. ಯಾವಾಗ ಸರ್? So ಒಂದು ಆಡಿಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಕಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ, so there are some preliminary steps where you have to take. What is that? So validity of appointment ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗಿದೆ? So you have to make sure the inspection of documents have to be done properly. So when this inspection takes place, ಏನೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಸರ್? Memorandum of association, articles of association, prospectus, ಮತ್ತೆ list of books, contracts, minutes book, ಮತ್ತೆ previous year financial statement, then certificate of commencement of business, so and certificate of incorporation. So these are some of the documents where you have to check. It's bit to sir, is there any other information where we have to look? So who are the how many officers you have, that is the list of officers, and internal check andre eno, the overall internal check and control system, how you people are doing in a very simple way. Bookkeeping ide sir, you will take into accountancy. So accountancy ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್? It has to be systematically verified, called as auditing. Correct alva? So here they have told joint stock company. So joint stock company and tashna you should be knowing. So you have to write joint stock according to 2013 Companies Act prakara. So ಹೇಗೆ ಸರ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಆಡಿಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, so automatically it's once again the same part. you have to verify the accuracy of books, and you have to detect if there is any prevent errors. So it's nothing but it's to be very good that you have to prevent the errors and frauds. Okay, then moral check, and you have to safeguard the interest of shareholders as well as, and very good valuable suggestions which can be done. Okay, this is somewhere where you can write for your first question. Second one ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದೆ sir, list out the various documents necessary to be verified in the audit process. So you feel yourself as an auditor. So once you are going to any organization, obviously what you will look for, the very first thing, there should be something called the work which should be performed. For the work performed, you ask for something called as evidence. Okay, so based on the evidence only everything can be told. Okay, so you will review, you will examine, and you will look for the level of quality, and you will look for the training tool used by them, and how these people are going with the analysis program, and the checklist, and the memorandums, and as well as the correspondence things, all this representation letters, whatever is been required. So this is some of the documents what you will look for. Okay, the third one, draft an audit report that is qualified or clean with an imaginary data. Okay, so always remember, ಏನ್ ಸರ್ ಈ ಆಡಿಟ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ there should be a title, there should be addressee, there should be some introductory paragraph, and there should be something like management's responsibility, auditor's responsibility ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, and something like basis ಏನಾದರೂ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ for your opinion that you will take it, and the signature of the auditor, and the place of signature and date of audit report. Okay, so these are some of the subheadings what you can use for your audit report. Okay now, so ಈ headings ಬರ್ದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು if you explain, it would be very good for you to get 10 marks. Okay, then fourth question ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, you have to visit an audit firm and write about the procedure followed by them in auditing the books of accounts of a firm. ಸೊ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿ ಹೆಸರು ನೀವು ಹೋಗಿ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೇಮ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ರೈಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಇದೇ ಕಂಪನಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೇ ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ವಿಚ್ ಎವರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಯು ರೈಟ್, ಇಟ್ ವುಡ್ ಬಿ something good. So methods ಇರುತ್ತೆ, there is something like substantiative audit procedures and analytical audit procedures. So if you write this, so how you have observed, what is the info, and how it has been coming to a confirmation. So is there any recalculation, or is there anything like re-performance? Okay, so ಇಷ್ಟನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು you will write there. Okay, the fifth one, record the verification procedure with respect to any of the fixed assets. So any of the fixed assets antastane we have told you. So you can concentrate on plant and machinery, and you can also concentrate on the freehold property. Okay, so anything related to this on the buildings part. So this is something fixed assets mele, how you go with verification procedure. So this is somewhat you have to write here, already you have studied. So the same thing ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂಚೂರು ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ the work is easily done for you. And the last question, draft an audit program. Okay, so the basic audit program ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ sir, whenever you go for any such audit program, so there are some things which has to be included. So ಏನೆಲ್ಲ things ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, what's the open balance, and what is the vouching figures of cash and bank. So sales register ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, okay, who has checked and what time. So every details, it is something like a checklist. ಪ್ರತಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಏನೇನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, based on that you are considering it as one checklist, and finally you are trying to do with the overall program. Okay, so in a very simple way, ಏನು ಸರ್ audit program ಅಂದ್ರೆ, it is a detailed work plan which includes the time of doing work and how to do a work. Okay, so detail ಆಗಿ ಏನೇನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ you trying to tell is something called as the audit program. Okay, so ಇದನ್ನ ಆಡಿಟರೇ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಮ್ ಜೂನಿಯರ್ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟಾಫ್, ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಮ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ರೈಟ್ ಇನ್ ಆಡಿಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ಕೈಂಡ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಆನ್ ದೀಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ and the ideology what we have told. No, so based on that, right, you will be getting a marks. So next to income tax ಗೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ, very simple, we will not waste much time here. Present the framework of taxation in India. Okay, so you have income taxes, the major thing. So when you go for two things, tax ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ತರ ಇದೆ ಸರ್, ಒಂದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ you have income tax, some capital gain tax, professional tax, property tax, Okay, so these are some of the examples. And indirect tax, the beautiful example is somewhere GST, goods and services tax, and custom duty. Okay, so these are some of the examples where you will be writing how the framework of taxation has been happening. Okay, so the different types, and how you can also onchur nodkolodadre, you also can look after. So ನಮ್ಮ overall framework of officers ಕೂಡ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ it would be a special advantage for you. Okay, the second one, list out the various income tax authorities and mention their powers and functions anta ide. Okay, so here the powers and function is all about the Central Board of Direct Taxes, and that is the DGIT and the CCIT, that is Chief Commissioner of Income Taxes, and the additional directors of income tax, directors of income tax, joint directors of income tax, and the joint commissioner, inspectors, tax recovery officers. Okay, so these are some of the people where you have to write which are the authorities and how they actually work. Okay, so some of the important powers ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ನಾಲ್ಕನ್ನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ, ಸೊ ಆ ನಾಲ್ಕರು ಪವರ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಎನಫ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಪೀಪಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಮಚ್. Then list at least 10 incomes exempted from tax. Agricultural income, amount received by a member of Hindu undivided family from the income of Hindu undivided family under section 10 subsection 2. Okay, so ಈ ತರ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು some exemptions will be there from tax, so just have a look at it. Okay, then the remaining three, whatever we have something like ascertain the figures and all. So already whatever you have learnt in a sum, so kindly concentrate on that. Imaginary figures andre innonsali you remember any numbers which you can put. Okay, based on the availability. And kindly remember, auditing ಮತ್ತೆ income tax ಎರಡೇನೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ practicals for skill development ಗೆ ಬರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, so concentrate on that, read well and write well in the examination. So thank you students. So kindly support to all our videos. So like ಮಾಡಿ, subscribe ಮಾಡಿ, share ಮಾಡಿ. Okay, thank you, have a nice day.